Good afternoon once again. It's the Polity coming to you live from the Abuja studio of KAFTAN television. And my name remains Dayo. I'm standing in this afternoon for Macaulay Huno-Hashi, who, all things being equal, should be in the studio from before the week runs out. And today, as usual, we'll be talking about trending political issues and political situations in Nigeria. And incidentally, beautifully too, I have with me this afternoon Mr. Honorable Ismaila Isah, the SA media to the governor of Kogi State, Ahmed Usman Ododo, and is right here. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we will be talking about Kogi politics this afternoon, Kogi politics, Kogi governance, and all that. And I do hope that everyone from around Kogi, Nasarawa, and all that will be taking this very seriously, because I do know that some of those burning questions in your heart might just be addressed through this program. And we go quickly, straight away. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
And I'd like to start by asking, now, this is about a year after the political fight to get into power, before the, the fight that eventually saw your principal getting into office as governor. And there were a whole lot of frayed nerves at that point in time. How much have those nerves been cooled down now by your principal's political mastery?
Thank you. I think it wasn't a fight, really.
Yeah, but okay, I'll leave it. It was a semantics
of ideas on who is able to better persuade the people of the state in terms of selling your programs and policies to the people of the state. And then in the end, we saw what happened. The idea is, remember that His Excellency campaign principally on the idea of uniting the state, despite the tension built around ethnic differences or tribal differences, and then political affiliations. But that's not to maybe distract from the fact that the government, having come in, has been able to steady the ship of state with his first set of appointments that were announced right on the inauguration ground on the 27th of January 2024, sorry. And then with that, 2024,
yeah.
Yes, and then with that, the governor, Ahmed Usman Ododo, clearly has postured himself as somebody who was ready to hit the ground running. And that was not just about the sloganeering of those phrases, but definitely the fact that he was tested, and then he also come across as somebody who can be trusted. I would say in the history of the state, for the past 32 years or thereabout, no one has come better prepared, except maybe for governors who were coming in their second term.
All right.
Than he is, because he had spent close to 7 years working in the immediate past administration, so he understood exactly what the dynamics are. Back to your question as to whether the tension that characterized the campaign for the election has largely cooled off. I think that has largely been achieved. First, because of the kind of appointment that were made by His Excellency, and also the kind of character and redefinition of governance that he has brought to power. Fine, we are continuing and consolidating on the achievement of the immediate past administration in terms of infrastructure, security architecture, and of course social welfare, among other things. But His Excellency has been able to largely demystify governance by ensuring that government is taken right down to the people of the state.
No. When you say that there's, in the last 3 years of the state, that perhaps there's been no governor who came better prepared, but then you agree with me that perception is reality and reality is perception, and so much of the perception out there is that he seems to be in the shadow of his predecessor. How do you react to this?
That's not true.
Because it looks as if, people have actually insinuated that whatever is done in the state is actually done on the orders of the erstwhile governor.
I don't think that's true. Because fine, there are a lot of things that this current administration is doing which does not clearly depart from what the immediate past administration had started. What we are doing is to build on this and ensuring that in the process we're able to consolidate and then do some things better than was done by the immediate past administration. So some of the insinuations you hear about maybe His Excellency being in the shadow of the immediate past governor, those are mere insinuations by maybe flankers who might want to create some kind of misunderstanding or animosity in the system, but that's not true. Likely, His Excellency has been able to show that he is his own man, and he has defined that largely by the kind of policies and programs that he's been able to execute in the last 1 year. For instance, our agricultural program in the state is a departure from what was done by the immediate past administration, even though there were investments by the immediate past administration in the area of agriculture. But what we've done is to ensure that there is a follow-through in terms of value chain in the agricultural and food security development idea that the government has brought on board. What we've done is, for instance, is that we've created a situation where mechanization of agriculture has been taken back to the people. So the farmers themselves own the process. All the government has done is to provide the facilities in terms of the machinery. We refurbished over 150 tractors that were recovered, some of which were misused by the people that they were given to in the past. Some of them we had to recover from neighboring states. We refurbished them and then put them to use. The process will save the state billions of naira, in short, tens of billions of naira, because the money we would have spent in purchasing each of those tractors that we have.
Now, so how is that being put to use? Is it on a hiring basis, or is it given to them?
They are given to them for free.
For free.
We have about 76 farm clusters in the 21 local government areas of the state, and each of those farm clusters will ensure that there are farms on them, and there are farmers who are actively working on them based on the cluster system of farming. And what we've also done is to ensure that in each of those farm clusters, almost everybody working in or around the farms owns a hectare of land that you are going to cultivate.
All right. We'll come back. Yes. We'll come to the dividends that have been delivered thus far.
Sure.
And we'll devote some good time to it. But before then, let's sort out this idea that your man is his man. That's what you said.
Sure.
There was this issue about the fact that there was a time the law enforcement agent were on the trail of the former governor, and then he was seen to be shielding the former governor in his convoy. Does that also reflect his being his own man? Because if you talk about, maybe I should shed some more, provide some more background. Now, this is someone who the government was, the law enforcement agent was on his trail because, according to them, the Commonwealth of that state had been purified.
That has not been proven.
Yes, it has not been proven.
Yes.
That's correct. So, but I'm saying, if it was proven, if, for example, if it's true, if it's established that your man, your principal, was shielding him.
He wasn't shielding him.
Okay, maybe you should shed some light on what
we should understand, even though I wouldn't comment on a matter that is already in court, because the substance of this matter you are referring to is in court.
No.
And this part professional of me to comment on any matter surrounding the immediate past governor of the state.
No, I don't think that this part is subject
out of respect for law. No, because it won't be a fair comment if I'm to defend my principal and whatever role you think he has played. All right, because of the legal issues surrounding the substance of that case. So I wouldn't want to comment on that.
Because you would also understand that we will not be doing good service. We will not do our viewers good service for you to come here and for us to gloss over that. That's one area where we'll put on the phone lines at some point, and you can be sure that that's one area they're going to be talking about. So, well, if we could let that lie, but then you can be sure that that's one very burning issue as far as Kogi State is concerned. Now, let's take this last one in that area. Now, that same matter of the fact that some money got, I don't know, mismanaged, whatever, during the regime of the previous government.
I wasn't in the government.
Yes, I know, but government is a continuum, and then even those of us who are not in government at all, we still comment on some of these issues. But I know how it is for you, can be quite tricky. But even then, it would be good to hear from you what the state government is doing to ensure that fairness is ensured, because fairness will include that the common patrimony of Kogi State is secured. That will be justice, that will be fairness. Now, so beyond, I mean, you don't have to go through, is the state cooperating, for example, with the EFCC concerning this case?
Well, again, I wouldn't want to comment on a matter that is in court, but I know that where the state government or any of its officials have been requested to either make appearance or show cause why maybe the ongoing investigation should be supported and all of that, I think the state government and the officials have done their best. And there are so many of those things that I will not be able to mention here, but they've done their best. You are aware that it wasn't only the former governor who had made maybe appeared in court in the course of the trial or the investigation. So all of those who have made appearances have volunteered information that the law enforcement agencies required. So I think we can leave it at this point.
All right, okay. Well, we'll leave it at this point, even though there is a viral video on the net right now celebrating the same man. But okay, we'll talk about some of the things right after this break. We'll go on a break now, take a breather, and get back.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
Welcome back, viewers. You're still on to the Polity, coming to you live from the Abuja studios of KAFTAN Television. And just in case somebody is wondering what KAFTAN Television is, it's not the kaftan that my guest is wearing. It's King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network Television. King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network Television. So that's what it is. Because somebody will say, kaftan. Well, which one is kaftan? So that's what it is, and you can educate others. And so you're welcome back once again. I'm still with the SA Media, Special Advisor on Media to the Governor of Kogi State, His Excellency Ahmed Usman Ododo, and the person I am with is Honorable Ismaila Isah. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about development. Let's talk about how much the state has been impacted in the last 1 year. By the way, in about a week or two, over 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, he'll be 1 year in office.
Sure.
And I think that will call for some level of celebration.
Well, it's about maybe getting feedback from the people as to our assessment. So
all right,
cannot be assessing
no, but you must give a scorecard. You must say that this is what you have put in place.
Sure.
Now let's talk about the different sectors. Kogi State is perceived by analysts and economic development experts as a state that should be making billions from tourism. What has the governor been able to do in this area?
Okay, yes, that's a very good question. Of course, our tourism potential as a state has been largely unexplored or unexploited in the last 33 years. And the administration of Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo has come into office with that realization that that sector needed some kind of boost. And some very strategic appointment has been made in that direction. And then some changes have even been made after some of the appointments were made. People moved in and out of positions within the same sector. The idea is to align our tourism development agenda with our total development agenda for the state, so that nothing is done in isolation or in silo.
Right.
That seems to have been the approach in the past. So what we are doing right now,
the approach in the past was
things were done a bit in silos.
Right.
So now we are doing a more comprehensive approach to development, to ensuring that all sectors are linked, whether it's tourism, whether it's social welfare, whether it's agriculture, solid minerals, all of that is linked in a way that the state is readily positioning itself as one state that is open for business. And then we are ensuring that investors are welcome to the state, to the extent that as we speak, there are many people who have shown interest in supporting initiatives that we are coming up with in the tourism the sector. Recently, you must have seen or heard about the Kogi International Carnival that was held in the state. And that carnival, apart from what we did with all the procession in the state capital, there were also some kind of ancillary celebration of the same carnival in all the three senatorial districts of the state, to the extent that some visitors had to travel to places like Kaba, to Kene, to Aimba, and all of those areas to also enjoy the hospitality and the cultural festivities that were taking place in all of those areas. Before then, there had been some kind of celebration of carnivals in each of the senatorial districts on their own. But what the government did was to harness all of those possibilities that we've witnessed, especially in Central and even Kogi West and Kogi East, to ensure that all of us come together for the first time to celebrate. What we are also doing is we are currently also engaging potential investors to ensure that some of our tourism sites in the state, of course, you know, Kogi is home to some of the very relevant and significant colonial relics, and from Mount Patti down to the tomb of the unknown soldier, the confluence of the two rivers, and so many other things that we have in the state beyond Lokoja, which is to be the capital of Nigeria. So there's a whole lot that we are doing, and then we are currently engaging investors, and very soon a lot of things will come on stream, especially with the revival of our hotels in the state, with the kind of management that the government has put in place. We are sure that maybe in the next few months you will see a lot of traction in terms of what we are doing. Are you talking about
state-owned hotels?
Yes, of course. There are state-owned hotels, like Conference Beach Hotel, which we are currently trying to talk to investors to ensure that is renovated and put to optimum utilization. And then we also have the Kogi Hotel, just by Government House, which also is attracting attention from government. Very soon you will see some traction in that direction with the people that have been put in charge of tourism development in the state.
All right. Kudos. Let's get a little bit to talk. I mean, an ancillary to that will be that Kogi is also known to have quite a number of cultural practices, traditions that are quite popular. I am aware that the Central has what you call the Ekwochi, and are this also being factored into the tourism space, such that maybe during their programs, people and brands can be brought in to sort of sponsor and maybe also draw much more than the immediate residents?
Sure, there are many festivals and community cultural events that the state government has supported in the last 1 year, from the east to the west to central. There are so many of those activities. There's also effort, like you said, to modernize some of these celebrations to the extent that we are beginning to attract sponsors to support some of these celebrations. I wouldn't want to go into details as to what is involved in some of them, but quite a number of sponsors have identified with some of the cultural and festivals in different communities across the state, and some of them, for the first time, we've seen so many visitors come to the state to identify with their communities or different communities, and even those from other communities in the state. There has been some kind of intercourse, if you would, between people from Kogi East, Kogi West, and Kogi Central, where you see a lot of delegation traveling from one location or one part of the state to another to be part of the festivities happening in some of the locations in the state.
Oh, wow. All right, now let's talk about Kogi State is known to be a haven, a deposit, just a mass deposit, a mass land of all kinds of solid minerals. What effort is being made in this direction to ensure that it's no longer just potential, but potential becomes practicality, becomes reality?
Yes, thank you very much for this question. One of the key priorities of the current administration is to ensure that the solid mineral deposits in Kogi State, and of course we have over 32 solid mineral deposits in commercial quantities.
In Kogi State?
Yes, across almost all the local government areas in the state. And for us, it's so pathetic that in the last 33 years of our statehood, our people have not benefited much from those the mineral deposits that we have all over the state, and the government in its wisdom has ensured that we partner with the federal government through the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development in ensuring that we apply for licenses to be able to float corporate organizations or companies in partnership with investors, some of whom are coming in droves right now to invest in different sectors to ensure that we are able to maybe set up processing facilities in the state. Because one thing the government has done is that beyond the policy statements as to our commitment to establishing companies that will go into partnership with investors to ensure exploration and exploitation of our mineral resources, most of which ordinarily would have been designated for exports. But what we are doing differently is that we want to ensure that whoever is coming to invest in our solid mineral deposits in the state should have at least a processing facility that will ensure that the materials are not just taken in their raw form and then exported to other countries and locations where the people do not derive maximum benefit from such exploration. So that's one thing we are doing, and as I speak, there have been companies from Canada, from US and Europe, and even within Africa, and of course China, who have indicated interest in investing in the state. Not long ago, His Excellency the Executive Governor of the state had a meeting with the Consular General of the Chinese embassy in Nigeria and in Lagos, and part of the takeaways from that meeting is to see how the government can create an enabling environment to facilitate investment from Chinese companies who are willing to invest in our solid mineral exploration in the state. So these are some of the things we are doing right now, and I'm sure in the next couple of months you see a lot more traction in that direction as well, just like we discussed with respect to tourism development in the state.
All right, the one major facility, if you like, that could turn around the fortunes of Nigeria, incidentally, is located in your state. And I'm talking about the Ajaokuta Steel Complex. What efforts is the government, the state government, putting in place to sort of nudge the federal government into ensuring that, and especially maybe also liaising with the National Assembly, especially now that your daughter, who was very vocal even before becoming senator about that same issue, is in the Senate, and of course I'm talking about Senator, what's her name now? this Delta, where is the name flying? Okay, we'll come. Now, Akpoti, Senator Akpoti Udwanga. Now, so now that she's in the Senate and you have the governorship, it should be an opportunity to join forces together to see how that can move, because whether you like it or not, like they say biblically, when you pray for your country, you're praying for yourself. So if that is done, the first beneficiaries, most of the employees, especially from middle level to low level, are likely going to be from within that space. So I think that government of that stage should put in a whole lot more effort. What's been done in this area?
Well, thank you. With respect to Ajaokuta, I think the misfortune of Ajaokuta still, for me or for us in Kogi State, is the misfortune of Nigeria as a nation.
Yeah, that's it.
Because the circumstances that has held that project down for many years, probably older than some of us, is really tragic for our country. But one thing that the current administration is doing, I mean the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is to consistently demonstrate commitment to the revival and revitalization of Ajaokuta Steel Project. And we also need to give kudos to the Minister of Steel Development, Shuaib Babakar Audu, who has been doing everything. He's been all over the place. And almost every now and then he travels to maybe seek interaction with investors, and there's consistent feedback between the ministry and of course the government of Kogi State. But there's also one interesting thing that His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo is doing in Kogi State. Having seen that for many years, the top-bottom approach to the revitalization of Ajaokuta Steel may not have worked very well. So there needs to be some kind of bottom to top approach, so that the federal government should see that as a people we are also making effort as a state to ensure that we can maybe meet at some point that will help probably to finally lift that project off the ground, which is why the state government has proposed the establishment of an industrial park around the Ajaokuta development corridor. As a matter of fact, this development corridor within the Ajaokuta area, that a lot of facilities, investment is being channeled towards that side. There is a plan to upgrade the airstrip in Adogo by the state government, partnering with the private sector. There is a plan to establish an agricultural processing facility with support from the World Bank in that area. There is also the plan to establish an industrial park that will take note of all the clusters of industries around that side. I'm sure you know that beyond the Ajaokuta Steel, there are many companies in that area. Yeah. Some of them involved in processing of marble and other things that they are doing in that area. And then we are trying to see that industrial park, I'm told that about 3,000 hectares of land has already been allocated by the state government for the takeoff. And that industrial park will also have the status of a free trade zone, so that when we have a few key anchor investors, they are going to tap into the potential of Ajaokuta Steel. You know that there is a water facility there for water transport, there's a facility there for rail transport, and there is enormous power in that area, which has been has not been fully utilized in the last few years that the Gerogu power has been in existence. So there's a lot we can do with Ajaokuta Steel. But coming to your question, the state government is aware of the benefits that the people of the state will derive from the state, if not any other thing, the thousands of employment that the facility has potential to generate for our people. And that's why His Excellency the Governor, in all of his conversation with Mr. President, is one of the key points that he has always raised in ensuring that Mr. President mobilize the needed resources and the political will to ensure that that project gets off the ground. I'm sure that within the lifetime of this administration, you will see something serious happening in Ajaokuta Steel.
All right. I think we'll go on this break and then come back. After this break, when we get back, we will put on the phone line. Sorry, the number as usual is 0802-9938-365, and you would be free to make your calls. I would say up front, please be civil. Please ensure that your TV set, the volume is down. Please stay away from the TV set. as much as possible, gather your thoughts together, maybe put the main points on paper so that you won't have to necessarily drag the time, because there's no time. We probably would have just 1 minute to speak and to either make a contribution or to ask questions, and ask as respectfully as is possible. Of course, I have the mandate, the authority to do the needful. If you begin to get unnecessarily insulting or unruly, I'll do the needful, I can assure you. And that's where we hold it a little bit to go on this break.
My name is Sheila BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best TV station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheila BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. news.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in 5%. Our young people, we propose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
We found that the not
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. And join us again at 9
KAFTAN TV News. While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. news.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in 5%. Our young people, we propose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
We found that the
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. And join us again at 9
KAFTAN TV News.
Welcome back once again. The name is still Dayo Omoogun, and I'm glad to be here presenting to you your darling program, The Polity, and you know it's coming straight from the Abuja studio of KAFTAN Television, King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network Television. And I hope that you've been following. I've been talking with the Special Advisor on Media to Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo of Kogi State. And his name is Honorable Ismaila Isah. And right now, the phone line is on 002993835. And I do hope that you can use this opportunity to weigh in on the show and make your points known, such that we can have a rounded program, a balanced program. The number is on the screen already, and I have my first call, and this is, wow, S.O. Dudu from Cross River. Okay, S.O. Dudu, Happy New Year.
A beautiful Nigeria with KAFTAN TV.
Imagine that. Yeah, you're welcome.
Imagine a beautiful world.
Yes, yes, that's what we do here. We imagine a beautiful Nigeria.
Yes, imagine a beautiful 2025 with KAFTAN TV.
Exactly.
And imagine a beautiful Kogi State with KAFTAN TV.
Exactly, that's what it is.
Yes, a very good afternoon to you, Mr. Dayo.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
Good afternoon to you, Honorable Isah.
Thank you.
SA to the Governor.
Thank you, my brother.
And Happy New Year to our esteemed viewers out there. Yes, Kogi State, so wonderful. Thank you so much. Honorable SA, from all indications, you are an SA, you are on ground. You are not just on map. If you check critically, so many SA in Nigeria, in our states, they are only on map, they are not on ground. But yours, from what you have actually said, for the past 40 minutes or thereabout, I have been listening to the program, you are both on ground and on map.
Thank you.
So may God continue to bless us and bless Kogi State.
Thank you.
Yes, my is recommendation.
Okay.
One, the SA has rolled out so many things that his principal is actually doing to better the life of Kogi State. And my first recommendation that is very, very important for the achievement of all these things that he mentioned is security. Security, very, very important. Having considered the location of Kogi State, we give this to the former governor. Yes, from all indications, he tried. And I am very sure the present governor is going to consolidate on this. Between this Kabal-Kenny Act, very, very important. If you look at that federal road, between 6-7 o'clock, you hardly see motorists applying that road because of security challenges. So what the governor should do, the governor should empower the local vigilantes and the hunters. The governor should empower them, pay them, so that they should be guiding our state. In the security, the tourism potential of Kogi will be achieved and it will contribute to the IGR of the state. In the security, the farmer in Kogi will return to farm and there will be a bountiful harvest. In the security, the executors fee will start working. In the security, every other thing will be achieved. Then lastly, the second one is on the area of corruption. If you check critically in our state, there are a lot of corruption. And that is why you see most of the commissioners or most of the directors that have been moved in the previous government to the federal, they went there and they misbehaved. Reason is because in the state, the corruption is very high. Corruption is very KAFTAN. Corruption is very Nagbada. And it is high time that governors should start to set up anti-graft agency to be fighting corruption in the state. And I want Kogi to use 2025 to do this so that at least the people of Kogi will be very happy.
All right.
Next election, he is going to have a massive vote.
All right, Dudu, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You probably want to respond to that?
Sure.
I was really going to talk about security even before now, yes. But that's an opportunity to just...
Okay, so let's start with security. With respect to security, His Excellency has largely consolidated on the achievement of the immediate past government, which the caller rightly acknowledged as to what was achieved. What we've done in the last 1 year is to ensure that we invest heavily in logistics for security agencies in the state, both conventional and unconventional security agencies. We've also been involved in recruitment of local vigilante and hunters. At the last count, I think over 3,000 of them since we came into office.
Have been recruited?
Yes, okay. Including local hunters in almost all communities, at least 50 in each of local government areas, and then there have been additional 300 or 200 plus in the last 3 months alone. What we've also done is to reorganize and enhance the vigilante services in the state, putting them under a more formal structure with the appointment of a new commander, a retired naval officer that is in charge, who is doing very, very well. In the last few months as well, following the approval of the 72,500 minimum wage, there was also clamor for increase in the salaries and earnings of the vigilante members. His Excellency has graciously approved, and it's already been implemented, about 110,000 naira for each of the vigilante members as their take-home pay for the month, for every month. That's in addition to the provision of logistics.
That's coming up from what level?
At whatever level, at whatever entry level. That's the minimum. That
I'm saying, what was the...
what was it? It was, I think, less than the minimum wage before now. Yeah, less than the minimum wage. Less than the minimum wage of 72,500. Yes, it was less than that before now.
Okay.
Yes. So what we've also done is to ensure that there is a robust architecture for intelligence gathering in all our local communities. Somehow, not all of it I can disclose here what we are doing, but let it be on record that the very road it talks about, our security agencies are very active in that part of the state, and it should also be on record that Kogi State is the only state in Nigeria where the government, with support of the security agencies, take the fight against bandits and terrorists right to the doorstep of these bad guys. We do not wait for them to come and attack our people. Instead, we allow people to sleep with their 2 eyes closed, and our men are always in the bush around the state. In fact, the boundary between Kogi and Kwara and Ekiti and Ondo, Benue, Nasarawa is largely being surveyed. There's active surveillance on it by the state security agencies almost every time.
Can this also be said of the boundary with, or the border with Edo State?
Yes, somehow, because we know that we are bordered with 9 states plus the FCT.
Yeah.
So all of the states with which we share common boundary, what we've done is to ensure that we are able to secure not only our side of the border, but to also activate some kind of joint security operation with this state. Because one thing that has happened in the last few years with our clearance operation is that once we launch a clearance operation in Kogi State, these guys find their way and run to neighboring states. And there are a lot of bushes and forests where they can hibernate, and then once that is done, they could always make their way back and then perpetrate their nefarious activities around the state. But what we've done now, especially with Kwara and Ekiti State, and maybe to some extent Benue and Nasarawa State, is to ensure that we we are jointly launching clearance operation with these states, and then we're able to clear these guys from around our state. Just recently, we activated the forward-based operation around Omala in Bagana area, which is a boundary between Kogi and Nasarawa on one end and Kogi and Benue on the other end. So that operation has ensured that sanity and peace has returned to Omala local government area in Kogi state, and we are doing so across the other states, that the other local government where we have common boundaries with other states, whether it's Edo, Benue, Ekiti, Ondo, and Kwara, and then Nasarawa. We are doing all of that, even with FCT, to ensure that our people can move freely within the state. With respect to anti-corruption, Kogi State is, I think, about the only state, maybe just a few other states I'm aware of in Nigeria, that has an anti-corruption law that is in place. In fact, the bill was signed into law in July this year by His Excellency, the current governor of the state, and what that has done is to ensure that every public officer in the state, be it a political appointee or a civil servant, you must subscribe to the dictates and provisions of that law. Everybody was meant to have a copy of that law, study it, and ensure that in whatever you do, you must ensure that you are operating within the ambit of that law, to ensure that nobody gets himself or herself into trouble, because His Excellency is committed to promoting probity, accountability, and transparency in government, and that is the accord he has with the people of the state, and nobody will be spared in case anybody is found to be involved in any form of corrupt practices.
Wow. I hope you're still there, my viewers, and you have a chance to call in on this program, and the number is on the screen, 08029938365. Maybe I'll take it slowly. 08029938365. Let's get your call. Let's get your way in, because that's the way by which, block on block, pillar in place, sword, pan, a shovel, we will build the nation of our dreams. So let's have your take. He has just talked to you about the security system, what's been done about security. We've talked about tourism. We've talked about he has touched on the fact that the state pays one of the highest minimum wages around the country, and in fact was one of the first states to actually take it beyond what the
and also
what
put
was
a
happening
waiver
at the
of
national level.
12-month waiver on all tax elements on the new minimum wage. The civil servant will pay tax on the
for 1 year.
For 1 year, yes.
All right. So those are some of the things he has done. The government has done. Probably you are somewhere in Kogi and you want to make a call, and possibly you think that some of the points he has made are not very correct, because yes, he works for a principal and he must defend his principal. So, but you have information that is contrary. Please, let's put it on the table, and that will make the program even more robust. Or what do you think?
Sure.
Right. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome. You are on to KAFTAN FM TV, TV, not FM, but I like you to please cut down the volume of your TV set. That's the first step.
Cut it down already.
All right.
I like the way the essay to the governor is saying things. But we want to see really what is happening on the ground, so that we know that really what is saying is true. Because we have known Kogi State for a long time that there is corruption, and the corruption has been hindering this state from moving forward. Really.
Wow, it's gone. Now let's go to this matter, because for years that was part of what Kogi State was known for, especially in the previous dispensation, of salary arrears unpaid, pensions unpaid, and all that, for which many Nigerians were really, and justifiably so, put off by such, if you like, if you like, I'm being guarded in my yes, because but the truth is that the pain it leaves with people to work and not get paid is immeasurable. You can't really quantify it. So what is the status now?
Well, as far as I'm aware, the challenge with issue of salaries in Kogi State has to do largely with the local government and not with the state government.
Okay, let's take this. Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I am from Delta State, Warri, Delta State, precisely.
All right, can you go further away from your TV set, please? Thank you. And go ahead.
Okay. What I want to say, I'm going outside now, away from the television set.
Yeah, thanks.
I want to commend you, the moderator, and your guest there.
Thank you.
Man from Kogi State.
Thank you.
You are doing a great job there, yeah.
Thank you.
I want to commend the man and his principal, the governor of Kogi State, for the program the man has listed that they are doing there. But the only thing, just not to waste the time of this program, the only thing I want to say here is that I want to encourage them to put on strong supervision. Strong supervision. It's not just to come to the public to tell the public that we have set certain things in place to check corruption, and you are not going there to monitor whether the things you put in place are working out the way you plan for it. So they should work out strong supervision, because all the states, we have people, we have governors who put out strong, very good programs to make life better for the people, but they don't follow up with supervision. They just say it on television, on newspaper, and they go on to sleep. Nobody to implement it. And you know, the government offices is the most corrupt office in the whole world. You can't, the corruption in government offices does not happen in the private sector. You cannot do that, what's happening in government office in Dangote's refinery or any of the Dangote's firm.
All right.
So, because there is supervision, no supervision.
Yeah, so you have made your point now. Yeah, your point is well made.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, so he has emphasized the place of supervision.
Sure.
And of course, we all know that if you put in place a project or a program and it's not supervised, it's as good as sinking the non-dignities of such a program. So you were talking about what you met on ground and what the status is concerning pensions, concerning salaries.
Yes. Before the exit of the immediate past administration, you want to pick the call?
Yes,
okay,
I do.
you can
Thank
take
you very much. Hello, good. All right, gone.
So there were challenges with the local government administration, and that has been largely acknowledged.
Okay, so you were saying that the challenge is not actually with the state government.
No, it's not with the state workers. Yes, not with the state workers, but there are challenges with the local government administration, and all of that have been put behind.
The challenges were with the local government workers. But who was supposed to solve these challenges?
In Kogi State, just like when the judgment came about autonomy, there's always been some level of autonomy with respect to the finances of the local government, as far as I was aware in the past.
Yeah.
Because I've seen publications of reports of the financing of the state where that of the local government were clearly distinct from what the state government was doing in terms of their earnings and how they were being utilized. But speaking for this administration, there is no issue about salaries or pension being owed.
Just hold your thought. Let's take this. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
I'm doing very fair. Okay, this is Ibrahim Mustafa from Ugolada.
Go on, please.
Yeah, I say a very big welcome to the SA, to the current governor of Kogi State.
Thank you.
Go on, please.
Yeah, my comment on the former governor.
Can you put down the volume of your TV set?
Yeah.
Better.
You know, the injustice about salary. You know, corruption brings a lot of problem for the citizenry. A situation whereby people's salaries were cut and they were being paid peanuts without being told that they are being owed, that the salary will be paid later, as we heard. I feel the current governor should check into that matter and correct it. And if possible, pay people their arrears. Because those were the crimes against the Abelo that made a lot of people to dislike him. And I've been calling for his investigation. I think if the current governor can do that, he will have shielded the Abelo from a lot of crimes from the public.
All right, thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let me add this, that I need some clarification. When you say that, as far as this government is concerned, that there is no such thing,
yes,
does it also mean that whatever areas was on ground have been cleared? Or you're just speaking from when this administration came into being, there's no such thing? I've
only been in government since the 27th of January 2024.
Yes.
So I'll speak from that perspective.
No, but if there were things on ground and that needed attention, that cannot be wished away, then government must be held accountable for
I'm not aware if anything has been put forward to the current administration with respect to saying maybe some people are being owed or some people have injustice meted out to them that has not been taken care of. As far as we are concerned, His Excellency the Governor of the state has been consistent in saying that the welfare of workers will be one of his topmost priorities, and he has lived up to that expectation up till this moment, because like you rightly acknowledge, within 21 days of putting up a committee to work on the implementation of the new minimum wage, a report was submitted, and then it was approved expeditiously, and implementation started immediately in October. Then with respect to pension, for the first time in the history of the state, there has been increase in pension allowances to all categories of pensioners. There has been free medical access to health care now, health insurance for categories of our pensioners, especially those earning below 50,000 naira per month. And there has been a lot of maybe clearance of backlogs of pension. The state government has devoted billions of naira to clearing backlogs of pension. So there are some things that some people say because they are not on ground, they really don't know what's happening. One thing that we also need to acknowledge is the fact that sometimes bad news sells faster.
Of course, yes.
So
and, let's see if we can get some good news from here. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, but it can get better if you would cut down the volume of your set.
Yes, I've done that and I can hear you loud and clear.
It's getting better. Go ahead. What's your name, sir?
So what I'm trying to say...
What's the name, sir?
My name is Austin. I'm calling from Delta. My name is Austin.
All right.
I'm calling from Delta State.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
I would like the man with you to throw more light to the issue the previous man said. Even we who are not in government know that Yaya Bello cut off salary percentage from workers. Some he paid 30%, 40%, and he took off those salary. Those other money, he paid them. And if he's saying he's not aware, and somebody in Delta State is aware, this program should be thrown again to the public. Then you see the way all Nigeria will respond. Because those civil servants there cannot talk, because if they talk, they can sack them. But others from neighboring states who are aware, whose relations are workers in the civil service, and they know all these things, can't we still investigate the backlog of Yaya Bello on paid salary that he did not pay? Is this government not going to pay it? Or is he talking about only this present government that everything Yaya Bello did, they are sweeping it under the carpet?
All right.
So that's a true light to it because government is continuity.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you, Mr. Alex. Thank you. If you've been watching, you will notice that I've also asked about the same question. Yeah, I did try to ask that you draw a line between, do you mean that those ones that were done, that were being owed before you came in, that nothing is going to be done, or nothing, or something has been done about them? But you did say just now that a whole lot of billions of naira have been set aside to clear outstanding backlog of pensions.
Yes.
But you did not talk about the salaries.
Well, first let me put on record that this administration has no record of witch hunt of any civil servants.
Okay.
In case they do come up with any claims or complaints about maybe injustice or perceived injustice being done to them. So there's no record of that. There's no record of that. So if anybody has any issue and you present it to the right authorities or offices, they will be dealt with, they will be addressed.
All right.
That's one of the characters of this government that people must take note of. With respect to backlog of salaries or arrears or percentages, I think it will not be in my place to be able to comment on that because I'm not in charge of salaries payment. But like I've said, since the time that we've been in government, 27th of January 2024, there has been no issue of backlog of salaries or arrears that have not been paid. And even our pensioners, civil servants, if you go back to Kogi State, like I said, those who are on ground will be able to comment and appreciate better what you've done, to the extent that if you go back to the state now, you will see responses from people as to the posture and gesture of this administration with respect to social welfare. And this is consistent with the campaign promises of His Excellency before coming to office. So we might choose to maybe rob whatever was done in the past on the records of the present administration, because like you said, government is a continuum, but that will also not be too fair on the person and the character of this government to be put to such a level where we cannot be allowed to defend our records within the period that we are serving in government. Yes, it's about visiting the sin of the father on the child, and that is unfair as far as I'm concerned.
Well, talking about fairness, it's very unfair also to hold people's salaries, and if it were being held, if it's not been addressed, the only consolation is the fact that you have said that if there are such cases, they could be brought up and they will be addressed.
Of course.
But ordinarily,
and there are
it's
so
very
many
unfair.
pensioners who have applied for gratuities. Personally, I've been involved in encouraging people to come forward with such claims, and then some of them are being dealt with. There's a case of a caller. I was from one of the radio stations in Abuja, and then there was a call from one of the callers whose mother, who said the mother was retired, and they needed to know the status of the gratuity or some kind of out of service compensation.
Right.
And then we forwarded the claims to the government, and as I speak to you, it's being addressed.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess that might be some level of respite.
Sure.
The fact that the door is open to treat any such cases.
Sure.
But definitely talking about fairness, it was clearly unfair to those people, which is the pain in their hearts, which they have expressed, and which they are expressing even through their relations through these calls, because like somebody said, it's possible that those who are still within the service may not have the freedom, the latitude with which to make these complaints, but I mean, all the same, they are being made as it is, and I hope that this is taken back to His Excellency, who, from all you have said, really wants to have a good tenure, really wants to lift up the people. This is a major one. It should not be seen, the government should not be seen, like in the words of one of the callers, to be sweeping under the carpet that which had happened in the past, considering especially the fact that government is a continuum. Yeah, so I think that point really needs to be very well made. And so as we get on the home run, we have maybe 10 or thereabouts, 10 minutes or thereabouts to go on this program. or 12, I do call on you. Incidentally, I don't think anyone has called from Kogi, and that's surprising. Nobody has called from Kogi. I expect that the calls should even come up more from that state, and at least somebody should call from Okene and say hello to the governor, and say wow to the governor, or say avo to the governor if you feel that he's doing well, and or agba to him if you feel that he's doing well, or whatever. And so just very shortly we will be rounding up. What other areas would you want to really talk about?
Like I said, our development agenda has been very holistic, ensuring that there's a nexus between what we're doing in terms of security, infrastructure, agriculture, social welfare, human capital development.
Kind of an all-encompassing.
Yes, that's what we're doing. So the approach is really wholesome and holistic. So I can see we have
this person might just be from Kogi. Okay. Let's take it. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I am from Benue State.
Okay.
I'm a very appreciate the honorable the very man that is in.
Yes, okay. You know, they will hear you better. Nigerians and every other person will hear you better if you reduce the volume of your TV set.
Okay. Are you getting me now?
I think it's better, yeah.
Okay. I'm very happy to hear what you are saying. And like in Benue State, I want you people to take the copyright from our own governor.
Okay.
The government is the people by the people. I was in the Uniagri with some other people from Kogi State. There was a claim about the salary payment during the Yaya payment. But now the government has been changed through another person. I hear advisor to the governor there saying that they are trying to finish with the issue of salary and arrears. Let them continue with that, because all government, all of the administration is the concern of the salary payment and arrears.
All right.
And Yaya Polo, his administration was very bad.
Well, that's
very bad.
That can only be. There's nothing that's absolutely bad. There's nothing that's absolutely good. No government is absolutely bad. No government is absolutely good, and so we must be careful how we put out our feelings. And you want to say something in response to what he said, or what the other man? Or you want to continue what you were on?
Well, people are free to express their feelings as to how they feel about anybody or any administration.
Yes,
but I mean, we know, like you said, no administration is entirely bad, and none is entirely good. There are always points for improvement here and there. Having said that, with respect to the present administration, our agenda has been to ensure that we consolidate on what we met on ground. First, from the first question about uniting the people of the state in ensuring that there is a more broader approach to development, ensuring that development spread across all parts of the state. No section of the state will be discriminated against on account of anything about their affiliation politically or maybe their interest. So what we've done is to ensure that For instance, agricultural projects are spread across all parts of the state. We have established processing centers in the 3 senatorial districts of the state, in Alakpe, in Osara, and I think somewhere in Ofu local government. And then we are ensuring that our road projects in the state, right now we are doing about 400 kilometers of road, and they are spread all over the 21 local government areas. About 100 kilometers.
Let's allow this person have the last call.
Yes, okay.
Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, please, let's have your name and your location, and then let's have your take.
My name is Isah. I'm from Osun State.
Go ahead, Mr. Adepoju.
I have some of my relations they are in Kogi State. I have not been paid their salary.
Can you cut down the volume of your TV set and maybe move away from it?
I want to beg the new governor. To start doing the school good deeds to the people. We pay them their salary.
Better.
I think he was trying to make a point about salaries payment.
Yes.
I don't think any worker in Kogi State is owed
No,
salary.
I think he was talking from the point that since the government has started to do well,
yes.
it should
okay, so I mean, whatever injustice perceived or real that anybody feel has been done with respect to social welfare, I'm sure this administration is going to look into them, and in no time all of those grievances will be addressed by the right authorities. Speaking generally about our development agenda, what we are doing is to ensure that we anchor the entire development agenda on our commitment to taking governance back to the people, ensuring that the people have input in government, and also ensuring that appointments are done on the basis of representation from the ward level up to the state level, so everybody has input in what the government is doing at all levels. And that's why we've ensured that people are appointed from across the 239 wards in the state, so that they will be the ears and the eyes of the government at that level, ensuring that there is consistent feedback to the people. We've also made youth development and women empowerment the cornerstone of the administration of Kogi State under His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, in ensuring that nearly 80% of the state appointees are people below 40 years old. Yes, and then women have taken their pride of place in the state right now, because we have people at cabinet level, probably about 5 of them very active. Secretary to the state government is a woman, and then Accountant General for the first time in the history of the state is a woman, and then we have up to 3 commissioners that are women. And at the local government level, we have ensured that all vice chairmanship positions are reserved for women.
I guess that started from the previous
Yes, of course. Yeah, we've further built on that by ensuring that there are at least 4 councillors in each of the wards within the local government areas reserved for women. And for the first time, we have a female local government chairman from Omoogun local government. And there's a whole lot being done to ensure that there is participation of all spectrum of the society in the government of the state. And this we've done deliberately to ensure that governance is taken back to the people, ensuring that there's a robust nexus between the government and the people of the state. So all of our projects, be it in agriculture, in security, social welfare projects, our health projects. As a matter of fact, we are revitalizing about 74 primary healthcare centers, most of which will be ready for commissioning in the next few weeks. So across 21 local government areas in the state. And there's a whole lot that we are doing in ensuring that people are able to feel the government in whatever location, whatever part of the state that they are, they feel the impact of the government. And I'm sure there will be a lot of feedback in the next few weeks when the administration will become 1 year in office, and then even KAFTAN TV, I'm sure, will be invited to witness some of the things we'll be doing, either in terms of project inspection or commissioning, as it may be. So there's a whole lot we have in offer, so that we don't just talk. We need to be seen to be doing some of these things that we've said we are doing.
All right. I guess at this point, I just allow you to have a last line. I mean, maybe what do we expect, because this is 1 year already, so what do you think that the governor still has in stock beyond now?
There's a lot that we have in stock. First,
why should the people buy into some of those things?
It's on record that His Excellency Alhaji Usman Ododo has largely reconfigured approach to governance in the state. Yes, for the first time in the history of the state, there is now what I call a common sense approach to governance, a demystification of governance, to the extent that he sees himself as the servant of the people and is readily available to respond to issues that ordinarily would take a long time for government to respond to. He's been very nimble and dynamic in his approach to governance, and that is very uncommon in Nigeria from our experience. And in the coming year, we expect to see a lot of traction in terms of our development agenda. The Zaria-Agi Airport project is likely going to kick off. The proposed new Lokoja International Market will be completed, I'm sure, in less than 2 years from now. Yes, and then there's a whole lot that we are doing with respect to water transportation. You made mention of tourism in the past, in the course of our conversation. There will be more investment coming through in terms of promoting tourism potential of the state and ensuring that some of our hotels are brought back to life and then utilized optimally. Our agricultural project will be given a further boost with the cultivation of about 50,000 hectares of land in the coming wet season farming. Currently, our dry season farming project is already on, with a lot of implements and the input being given to farmers just about 2 or 3 days ago. So there's a whole lot that we're doing, and we're going to scale up our approach to governance in terms of ensuring that the impact of government is felt in every part of the state.
All right, I guess we would have to leave it here today. I've been talking with the SA2, that is the special advisor on media to the governor of Kogi State, His Excellency Ahmed Usman Ododo, in the person of Honorable Ismaila Isah, and he's tried to give a very good account of himself and of the government, and you be the judge whether or not the Kogi State government has been doing well. And maybe beyond that, maybe you could go and match what he has said with what is on ground, and that will be a better way of truly assessing whether anything that is a semblance of dividends of democracy is being delivered in that state. At this point, I must say thank you to every one of you viewers, millions around Nigeria and around the world. Thank you for staying tuned to KAFTAN TV and telling them that this is the best station, this is the place where it's happening. And of course, in this place, we imagine a beautiful world. We imagine that Nigeria can be a beautiful, beautiful part of that beautiful world. And we thank you for those of you who made calls through, those of you who tried but they didn't get through. Thank you so very much. And also, I want to say a very big thank you to the production team. Big up, guys. Thank you so much. And then I would also say thank you to Honorable Ismaila Isah. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope that we can call on you some other time.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is where we leave it off, and it's bye-bye from me, Dayo Omoogun.